What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode with AB Investments, and hopefully you're all having a great evening. AB is extremely, well, he's happy, but his eyes aren't, because AB have slept like, I don't know, what did I sleep today? I stayed up all last night throughout pre-market. I took a nap around 11, literally through it, from yesterday all the way through pre-market till 11, and then woke right back up around 11:40ish. Just like a 40-minute nap. Then went back to sleep around 1ish and woke back up again around 1:30. Like basically all in all for 2 days, it was like around an hour and a half. But why? Why is AB putting himself through all that? It wasn't like I was just torturing and keeping myself up. Well, my eyes were not saying that, but I was drinking coffee, I was smoking hookah, I was, enjoying my snacks. And watching this because I was watching it unfold. Yesterday I made a post in the membership tab, people, and I will post it as the thumbnail for this video, and then I'll also post it in the community tab now that it's a day later, for people to fact check and see. And yesterday in the members tab, I posted 2 comments about 2 stocks that I wanted to get involved with, and I exactly made the breakdown in the members tab. So it wasn't just me saying this. No, I had to also explain exactly my standings and my levels so that when I'm walking, I'm not just walking over things and just continue like documenting. No, I'm walking and explaining. And again, none of this is financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. I'm a YouTube influencer, right? So don't base any of your financial decisions based on mine. I might be willing to lose it all. However, in that picture you will see, and again, I encourage each single one of you guys to go to the community tab and look at it, because I will post it there too so you can read it for yourself in detail. So the 2 stocks that I was facing today, or interested in today massively, were none other than the SPY, which represents the S&P 500, and then Nvidia, which you would also, needs no introduction. You would have to be sleeping under a rock if you don't know who Nvidia is, especially within this 2023 year. And I explained, starting with the SPY, I was anticipating, and again, you go back and read it, you'll see that it's from the day ago. Some of the members of the channel can confirm. I just found out that, by the way, who some of the members are in the members tab. So much love. I didn't know. I literally didn't know. I just found out. Anywho, so yeah, so like some of you YouTube members of the channel, you can verify exactly what AB have put, and then I'm gonna screenshot it and put it on the thumbnail and put it on the community tab so everybody can see it. So I said that I was looking for the SPY to break 443.25 to be exact, and yeah, it broke all the way up to 444. But what did I say exactly? I was looking for 443 to be broken, and then I was gonna watch for strength or weaknesses within the stock. So what is strength and weaknesses? The strength would mean breaking 439 to the upside and then breaking the resistances that are above and continuing to run and rally completely. And as far as what is the weakness, breaking 439, then breaking down to the downside, back down again, just reaching that resistance level, breaking 439 and then breaking down again. And obviously from that sound of talk, you could tell that AB was interested more into the puts, because the fact that it would go up from the 434, 435 level, and obviously all that magic was happening in the pre-market, and climb up. You've seen one magic thing in about 7 a.m., about almost 8 a.m., when there was a small window that was opened, that after the SPY was in around the 443, 444 range, a flash to the downside happened, effect, where a small window was opened for a massive player to exit their positions at a much higher range, and obviously brought it down to about 442, 441, the upper 441, and then it, climbed back up again to make it seem like when the Feds released their statement, which was, by the way, not to hike any more rates, which in the before the pre-market last night as well, I've kind of taunted the Feds, and I made a post also in the community tab. This one was in the community tab, and I said that the Feds, I really doubt the Feds were going to hike any rates. In fact, I really doubt that they are going to hike any rates. And that was my way, because again, I'm not a financial advisor. That was my way of poking at it, but like, taking a shot at it. But in the same time, you had to see the action in the pre-market to be able to see what would happen today. And you also needed to see what was going to happen with the market throughout the market trading hours. And you've seen it. It's so based on what I just said to all of you guys as far as weakness and strength. Now, and with that breakdown, you could see exactly how visible it was. Pump up the market to a higher price in the pre-market. Throughout the market trading hours, we saw no upside movement and barely any downside movement, just like kind of consolidating until, to make it seem like it was all coming down to the showdown of the Feds releasing their decision on the rate hikes, where in reality all the magic really happened at that point. We will see before the rate hike announcement, we could see that, okay, so pre-market random pump. People are anticipating that there's going to be no more rate hikes. Well, there was no more rate hikes. Yes, they paused it, not for good. And we saw now, if you don't believe, again, don't just believe the statements. Look at the data. This is where indicators and technical analysis make a big difference. Looking at the trading hours today and seeing the stock not moving to the upside much and nothing but consolidating throughout the whole day until the Feds announce their decision. And that's when you see a massive, huge jump to the downside, because you could see it coming. It could not break to the upside. If it was going to break to the upside, that move would have continued right after the pre-market throughout the day, but it had trouble every time. It was a double top that we formed today. Some of you chart gurus will know exactly what I'm talking about when I said a double top. And when you've seen that form, at that point, that's the moment, the second top, that even if things were not aligned for you yet, at that point you're like, okay, that's it. It's clear now, and you get in for puts. I did say in the comment that if it was gonna, let's say the opposite happened, and it broke up to the upside and it just continued running, I said specifically in that message, I was gonna leave it alone completely at that point and let it go further. Let the markets overreact to something so that it can give me even a more lucrative opportunity to enter. But those were my expectations. Expectations were met flawlessly, and it happened. So congrats if anybody have followed and perhaps made any profits. Congrats to you. Makes my heart get filled with tears of joy. Now, another thing about the Fed's rate hike, their statement as in why the markets dropped, all the indexes and most of the stocks, major stocks, was because the market was not anticipating a rate hike, which it did get, no rate hike, but the market got afraid about the openness of the Feds, a courtesy of Mr. Jerome Powell, his openness to perhaps bringing back rate hikes in the future. So just that about the idea that he was open, the markets, they're trying to convince you that the markets were rallying for ending the rate hikes and perhaps hearing something about when the cuts will start. When that did not happen, it was nothing but a little pause, and we would go back. He said we would go back to it if we need to be, but we're seeing this, that. Like, he showed a lot of encouraging signs in the market, but in the same time, he left it open for more rate hikes down the line, and therefore the markets dumped based on that notion. Now they might fool many people with that. In fact, they have, and they will. They're not going to fool AB with this. AB uses the analysis and the technicals to make his final decision. Now, as far as NVIDIA, NVIDIA was actually also a special case, because I said it was, I looked for a retest of breaking 439 on NVIDIA, and if you see the levels, you'll laugh. Again, you'll see the message, you'll read it for yourself. You'll see typed and posted yesterday. So again, fact check. I need to make a segment in this channel and just call it like where the intro of the video of every video is going to be like this. AB looking to the side and Fact check. This is goofy. All right, let's get back to business. So I said it was going to break 439. Same thing, nothing new. Good, great working methods, which is look for resistance, find it, look at the price action and consolidation, and then obviously look for those levels. Now that level was about 439 for me, and then I said if we would break it to the upside, then obviously at that point I will be watching if it's overreacting, similar to what I said about the SPY. Then I will leave it alone, let it overreact, and I'll have more access to something that is a lot more lucrative. But rightfully so, I knew the markets were not going to do that. The markets didn't do that. It reached that 439 level, and guess what? I might be confusing the numbers right now, honestly, because again, sleeping, guys, only literally about an hour, sleeping 2 days. But 439 and breaking it to the, looking for the strengths and the weaknesses. And when you see the weakness, I said that I was gonna look for it to break 439, reach it, and break back down to about 437. And once it breaks 437, I will at that point look at, obviously right away jumping into puts at 437. I know it's $2, but for Nvidia, not that much, guys. For the price of that kind of stock, it moves a lot more volatility, and that's why it's a money-making machine, because of the volatility. And the options chain obviously on that is extremely expensive, but it's if you have your levels on lock and your charting is on lock, it becomes a formality. If I tell you now that, hey, this will cost you $500, and in the same day this could yield you back 1,000, so basically doubling your money, perhaps even 800. Let me make it even a little more down to earth. But this, you could trade this 500 for 800 later on in the day. Would you do it? If you're looking at it at that, in that sense, you'd be like, why not? Oh, hell yeah. 8 is always higher than 5. But obviously you would have to get to that point. And I promise you guys, I am working on trying to make some courses that are not financial advice, but my deciphering or explanations furthermore into charting and about the options. But I can't teach you options, and it's not teach you as in like go follow it. No, I can't explain options and then jump in the same time into technical analysis, because the problem with this is that options is like the riskiest thing that you jump into, and you jump into normally that in like later on, once you already got the fundamentals, the technical analysis, and your own indicator strategy. Once you understand that, then you can you could throw yourself on the ground, and you'll land running on your feet with the options world and all that stuff, because it's a different world that will still be connected to your technical analysis. So the most important thing is charting and technical analysis, family, in my humble opinion. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. To each their own, but this is the way that I see things. But I'm working on these things, and we will have courses of what I think is the explanation of certain things, methods, styles to use to trade on a daily basis. And honestly, because of what we're going through right now, it's going to be dedicated, it's going to be articulated upon in a kind of a little different manner. Like it's going to be in a way where it's going to be like member bound. Because there's a lot of threat. There's literally a lot of threat out there, and honestly, AB is gonna constantly and always be honest with all the family. I am tired of having to go through shills. I am tired of having to go through all these bums I don't give much attention to, but I don't want to lay out valuable info and intel to many people that would help them, and then in the same time let in the wrong people on the right thing, and then let them either ruin it for many or ruin it for a whole lot. So therefore, okay, we'll jump. We have time. We'll jump into all of these things as far as in the future. Okay, this video is getting way too long, so let's finish it up. I might end up dividing it into 2 parts. So Nvidia breaking 439, and then I will be looking for weakness, and the weakness will be breaking down to 437, And at that point, I would be getting in, and then I would be selling all my puts that I would buy on Nvidia at 430 at the first bash, and the second bash I was going to completely let go at 427. Guess what? The stock dropped to about 422 even. It ended up at 422. Now, I always say, your job or as a trader is to be correct and make profits. It's not to time the bottoms or to time the tops. Exactly. If you do, hey, why not? But it's like probably less than 0.0000001% of the times that anybody will ever get. Like, it's that time again. You know it has to be, if it's an AB video, it has to be an ambulance. That's crazy. One was going the other way and the other one was going the opposite direction. I hope all is great though. I hope all is good. So anyways, family, finalizing this video, AB was able to happily sell his puts in the SPY and the Nvidia. And again, fact check it throughout the message you'll see in the community tab. And if you have any questions or comments, please post them in the comments section. That just completely sidetracked me, the ambulance, so I don't know where the rest. So I broke down what happened today throughout the market. And I've talked about a whole lot of other things. And basically, I feel like I'm so connected to all of you guys now, I don't even want to leave the video. We'll stay here for about 24 hours, since I can show the ability of not sleeping for 48 hours. So with that being said, much love, AB Investments.